So we've got the criminalization of the practice of law now with the fourth indictment of the president. He surrendered yesterday at Fulton County Jail. I think the whole process is disgusting. I think what they've done is ridiculous. And there's lawyers from all across the political spectrum that are outraged about this because it's criminalizing what we do as lawyers every single day, defending our clients zealously. And the idea that now that's a criminal offense is outrageous here. So you got a mugshot now of the president. You know he thought long and hard about exactly how he wanted to look for that shot, okay? So I find it unnecessary, demeaning, ridiculous, and unlawful. And I'm not talking about the mugshot. I'm talking about the entire proceeding. And I think some of the lawyers have moved for a speedy trial. I think that's a very smart move in light of this kind of situation. Put that DA on notice. The lawyer that is now representing President Trump made the switch yesterday morning and put in a very good friend of mine, Steve Sadow, who Steve and I did my last year of law school at Emory. Steve was there at Emory. Feel like now we have a real legal team in place, and you're going to see a lot of moving motions. By the way, the lawyers representing Jenna Ellis, Frank and Laura Hogue from Macon, Georgia. That's where I went to law school in Mercer. They are well-known, well-respected criminal defense lawyers. Let me tell you something else that's going on here, folks. Most of these lawyers representing these lawyers are Democrats or libertarians. And you know what they're angry about? The criminalization of the practice of law. So I think the Justice Department and the Fani Willises of the world have overstepped it and stepped right into a trap. You've got this move by Mark Meadows, and there will be, and others, Jeff Clark, to move this into federal court, where the judge is an Obama appointee, but a federal court judge, so you're within the federal system. In the case I argued at the Supreme Court, there was three of them we had, but one of them, Trump versus Vance, it says the president in his official capacities has the ability to utilize the federal court. So clearly the case can be moved to the federal court. And it looks like in Georgia, if it's one, it's done. In other words, if one goes over, all of them go over. So then you're in the federal court system. You got a broader jury pool because it's more counties in the Northern District of Georgia. Fulton County is just Fulton County, very heavy blue district. There may be motions to sever. I mean, some of these people have very little charges. For instance, there's a couple. Jenna Ellis is one of them, and there are two charges on her. One is she was part of the conspiracy that Donald Trump said. The other one is she showed up in Georgia for a hearing and didn't utter a word. And she's now indicted on 2 counts of felonies. I mean, you think about this for a moment. In what world are we living in? Kenneth Chesborough writes a legal memo, and he's indicted. I mean, think about this. You go to a legislative, you're an elector relying on advice of counsel is what they're saying, and they get indicted too.
Every single lawyer in America should be screaming about this because they could be next. Their client could be next. You have a right to representation. You have an assumption that you are innocent and that then your lawyer gets to go through the legal process of representing you. When you criminalize lawyers for people, this is totally un-American. You know, Jay, I've said it on this program before, but I've spent 12 years at the State Department calling out dictatorial tactics. This is the type of thing that we need to call out. Now we're hearing that the left wants to use secretaries of state in some states to ensure that Donald Trump is not on the ballot. Yep. I will tell you, we used to put people on the sanctions list for being so dictatorial.
We are entering the final days of our first ever Life in Liberty drive. Your support is needed more now than ever. Your donations are essential. Keep us in this fight. aclj.org. Give today.